Hi guys, I hope you're good since last video. So in this video, we're going to be focusing on presenting LMStudio. In this channel, we used LMStudio from the beginning and we really like this software. Here we are going to go through the different updates, the different ways you can use it, and why is it so amazing. We like whatever help us to run LLM models locally in our computer in a private way. There is a hype at the moment around the DeepSeek model. I will also show you how you can use LMStudio to get that running on your local computer. As always, please like and subscribe, and let's get started. So let's go into the website and we're going to go step by step. So it's a video in which we're going to take our time and see I'm going to install it in Linux, but you can do it in Mac computer or Windows. So here we're more into the Linux world. This is the documentation. It's really nice to see that there's a nice documentation. So you can access this from the landing page, and we're gonna go just through different types here. Now LMStudio can run as a CLI. So in the CLI you can just run some commands. Terminal, so from your terminal you can use it. It's good for scripting, for example. There are also here the ability to use tools. So if you're building an AI agent, you know that you need those tools. Here there's a high level flow showing you how those tools are called from LMStudio. And you get also some code snippets about how to structure that and the presets prompts. So it's a step by step. It shows you how you can use it with the models that enable tool use. Not all the models are able to do that. Structured output, that's the hardest to get from a model. Consistent output. Here you get a schema. So if you know about OpenAI API, it's based on the OpenAI API schema. And here you get the objects. Okay, so you can run it in headless mode. This we've seen it. Some prompt templates. Config presets. I will go in the GitHub repository to show you where those presets are. You can get some examples of those. This is the location in your computer. REST API, that's a beta, as you can see here. So they just add the V0 instead of V1 for the completion routes, embedding routes also. So in this video, I'm not going to use whatever it's beta. We're just going to be working on what is stable, what is the default, but I'm going to show you where you can customize those. So the compatibility with OpenAI API, and those are the routes, the V1. Well, here it's V0, as you can see. So it's very close to it. It's a bit, it's just changed the number. And all you need to do is to install OpenAI. And you can use in your code the client. The same clients. So the curl command, TypeScript, Python, those are the three languages in which you're going to be able to see some code snippets in the documentation. So TypeScript, curl, and Python. And local LLM server. That's what is very interesting, is to be able to load several models. You'll be able to do that, depending on how strong is your computer. To be able to interact with different models. For example, a vision model with a normal text model. Here we are in the GitHub repository. There is also here this MLX for the people using Apple computers, so the Mac. And here you get more documentation around it. So I suggest you to visit the GitHub repository for that, for this MLX integration of LMStudio. So there's no packages. I want to show you the presets. Here's the JavaScript. LMStudio.js. And after, where are the presets? Configs. Here. And here you will be able to see the system prompts, or how are those presets prompt set up for the different LLM models. So for example here, phi3, that's how it's going to be for the anti-prompt, input prefix, pre-prompt. Okay, and you see how it is user. So here we're just going to press on this button, because you see there is no packages on GitHub. It's all centralized to this web application, web interface. Run LLM on your laptop entirely offline. Chat with your local documents. Use model through the in-app chat UI or the OpenAI compatible server. And you download models from Hugging Face. That's what is nice. So GGUF models and MLX for the Mac users. LMStudio collect data? No. Can I use LMStudio at work? This is a funny question, but it's more about the license. What are the minimum hardware? So this we are going to go through that and see the system requirements. So what are they suggesting? On macOS, they suggesting you to have a 16 gigabit RAM, same for Linux, same for Windows. Linux, they don't say how much of RAM, but they suggest Ubuntu 20 or newest, so not before 20. Ubuntu 22, 24, it's okay. And you're going to get an app image. I'm going to also show you how to use the app image to be able to launch the application. So 16 gigabytes of RAM. In macOS it says that it can work with 8 gigabits, but 16 is the best to start with. 32 would be what you really want to be able to run smoothly those models at home. Here we just wait for the download to be done. Still downloading. So in the meantime, we can go through the model catalog. Here, the displayed model has model catalogs, but any GGUF model from Hugging Face will do. That's the DeepSeek here, models that we're going to use. The smaller models, and different quantizations. Here you have the Yama 3.37 TB instruct. You need to have a good compute power to run it locally, but it's possible. You get the Qwen models. I haven't yet tried the Qwen models. Java for the vision. So if you want to describe images, for example. Codestral 22B, so not the latest one. And we have here our test model Mistral 7B. That's the one I've been using all the time. So the assumption here is using a low-level model 7B, being able to run agent with that means that when you want to go to the paid APIs, your model will run without any issues. So that's the assumption behind that. And here we're going to maybe use this distill model as it is a Qwen. It's based on Qwen 7B. And it's a 4 GB model, and it's how to use it with the CLI. You get the code snippet here to start with the client and do your first API call, LMS log stream. Okay. So those are the models. We can maybe go also on the Hugging Face after. Here, because we're going to be going through Hugging Face. That's where the website where you can go. You tap JJUF and you get any of the models which are ending with JJUF. Alright. So JJUF models. You go to the files and you see which quantization you want to download. Q8, Q6, Q4. The higher the Q is, the best is the model. The best quality of output you will get. You see here the hype around DeepSeek-AI, DeepSeek-R1. Okay, so those are the best models at the moment on Hugging Face. We can see also Kokoro, 82 million parameter that I've made a video about it. So I suggest you to check the channel and go and see it. It's amazing. It's a model that you can use for speech to text, text to speech, or text to speech. So you get someone talking. So this is the distill model that we're going to use. DeepSeek Qwen 7B GGUF, and we're going to download it or from here or from the interface of LMStudio directly. I'm going to use LMStudio. I'm almost done here with the download. But you come here, you just press in any of those arrows and you get your model. And you put it where you want it to be. Stored. And from LMStudio, you will be able to go to that. I just need to mount my hard drive. It's an external hard drive. So the model will be residing in that hard drive because I don't have much space in this computer. And I want it to be able to run with the quantized version that I want. After here, we're just going to copy the app image that I have downloaded to this LMStudio folder that I have created in my computer. We got it here. Can you run it directly like that? Let's see. So the completion doesn't work first. This means that there is something wrong. I'm just going to copy it. I want you to see the error message and to show you how you can do to run the image. Permission denied. Just change it to be executable. Now the model is, the file is executable. Just going to check here. You see? We change the permission on it. So we can now do it ourselves, but still this doesn't work. Here it suggests that we use app image extract, and that's what we're gonna use. Just follow the suggestion of it. We use this flag, app image extract. We're gonna extract all the files in our server. I'm gonna build the LMStudio server, just get the files in. And there's this squash root folder. I'm just gonna get rid of the app image. It's 1 GB. I get some space. I don't need it anymore. And I'm gonna copy all the files from this squash folder to this folder here, LMStudio. And after I'm gonna get rid of this squash fs root folder. So don't forget the little R for recursive. And after you can get rid of this folder. As all the files are in. Okay, we're done with that. And where is the... Here it is. So that's the binary that we're gonna run to start the application LMStudio on your computer. So here we just go /LMStudio and it's gonna start. Just wait a few seconds and it's gonna pop up. It's gonna open by itself. You don't need to do anything from here. We just wait and we got it open. Here we go. The new LMStudio interface. I'm used to those black screens. This is white. We're gonna make it dark later on. They suggest you here from the beginning to download the model. So that's a nice way to do it. And here, adding LLMs to your path if you want to use it from the CLI. Here is the interface. So it hasn't changed that much, but we can see that there are some little details, as here you can access to those settings. Put it dark. Model search tab. Let's go through the tabs. Run times. You see here in model search, I can see the Hugging Face list of models. I can search those through. You have the different tabs. Discover, search the model. That's the one you would use. Or you can go here, click here and just go to the model search. So here we just go through the different settings, the languages. I'm using the stable version of it. You can choose the beta. You can put everything in Japanese also if you want to. Or you put it back in English. Here are the different themes. Sepia, light, classic, automatic. Let's go for dark. User interface complexity level, developer level, or power user or user. They have different level of interfaces. I just close this so you can see that you can swap it from here also, down there. User, developer, so you can see how the web UI changes. What else do we have here in this page? Show side button level. Yeah, this is good for the tutorial. I'm gonna leave it on. So here on the side you can see what are those icons for chat developer, my models and discover. Okay, so we're gonna keep it on. Model loading quad rails. So here you'll see later on I might need to change this. And we see the use case when you need to change that. Show prompt suggestions always show prompt template in the sidebar. I like to see that. Prompt templates are the presets that I have showed you in the GitHub repository. So you can change those to provide your own prompt. Developer stable or beta. We're gonna just say stay in the stable version. I'm not gonna use any beta version. And here there are some experimental options that we are not gonna use, but they exist. So runtime is very important. Here on Linux is running through Llama CPP. That's the server behind it. So I told you in the previous video that Llama CPP, if you master it, you'll be able to just run a server and run any model from Hugging Face. That's LMstudio is a wrapper of it. But in Windows, I know that you can't search the models through LMstudio unless you come here to this screen and you install the Vulkan Llama CPP. So you need to download those on Windows. It's very important. The Vulkan Llama CPP. So if you're on Windows, you just come here and you do that. This is the Studio MLX. That's for the Mac users. So you see it's not non-compatible because I'm using a Linux computer. So you have those tags, which is very nice. Green, red. So you know what you can do or what you can't, or what you shouldn't do. And here we get more details on the runtime that are activated in this computer. Llama CPP for Linux users. For the hardware, I'm running just on CPU. But there are some extensions, memory capacity. This is linked to the capacity of the computer I'm using. I just have allocated 9 GB for this to run. GPUs offload. You have the monitoring also in this hardware tab. The community. So you just click on it if you want to join the LMstudio Discord channel. I'm not gonna go in, but you got that. They did a nice platform with this new LMstudio, which is very nice. You have nice links. The web UI looks amazing. And here is where you load those models. And it's user-friendly because they're suggesting you to download the model. The beta tool use. So here it tells you that some models, Llama, Mistral, Quen, and more, were trained to use tools. So what this means in practice, you provide any array of tools, so a list of tools, and the LLM will be able to call those. And after here, there's little tutorials. It's really good for beginners. So if you're scared to use LLMs, just use LMstudio. And here we get quick documentation, which is a pop-up giving you the code snippets for different use cases, embeddings, image input. So for example, if you have an Java model, you'll be able to provide the base64 encoding of the image. And here, tool use, it gives you here a little tutorial in how to use those tools in 4 steps. Load the model, start the server, and just use those code snippets here. Okay. After here, you get the details on the code snippets. You can go through it just to see how to do it. That's what I'm using actually to run a little server, but I'm going to be fast forwarding that part because we're focusing more into presenting LMstudios and coding. And here you get more details. That's what we've seen in the GitHub repository, in the documentation. Those structured outputs, the tools, and the schemas. Here is the structured output. response formats, and after here, just the chat completion and the hello world. Very nice. So in this developer tab, we have also the server. That's where you're going to run the server from. That's how you activate it. The file logging mode, so this has been added. Full logging in a file or not logging at all in a file, which is good. So you can save some space, like in my computer, and after you activate it from here, and you can change the server port for whatever you want. 8080 for example. So here we just leave it 1, 2, 3, 4. Got an invalid input message, but this is just if you put less than if you don't put the right number. After you load the model from here, and in the My Model tab, that's the interesting one. That's where you're going to indicate where is your downloaded model located. So you change the path for it. So me, I've used the mount, and I'm mounting here my hard drive, external hard drive, where I just store the models. Open from here, and it's going to be able to see all the models present. You see, it has loaded it automatically. It could read through it. And those are the models that I have. They're old models, but I can use those for my testing. There are some vision models. There are some just chat models. So here we have different models, and you can see when it's not appropriate for your computer, likely too large for this machine, it's going to be able to detect it automatically. For each, you press on the side and you will see there are different quantization, different optimization of the model. And here we will go for this one, and you can access the Hugging Face interface just by going here. You just press here, copy to the clipboard, or you open in the browser like I'm doing now, and you get the model details. Sometimes you get extra details from this, or you get some extra code snippets to know how to use this model straight away, which is very good. Access to the documentation. And here it's going to say for the first one, it's good for my computer, but for all of the other ones, I won't be able to download those. But I don't want the first one. Is a Q3 quantized model. You won't get any quality output. You need at least a Q6, Q4 sometimes, but we're going to get the Q8. Because here is also detecting that in this computer I don't have enough space for 8 gigabytes, for example. But as I showed you in the video, I have an external drive which can support this download. So I'm going to download it and ignore the message telling me this is likely too large. So I'm doing it this way so that you can see what's happened when you do that and how you can go around this issue. You see I have just 6 gigabytes available in this computer. But now you know how to set the path to an area of your computer where there is space or an external drive. You just do that and you download whichever model you want. After, some models are not going to be able to run on your computer because there's not enough power. So it's not about the space here, it will be more about the gigabyte RAM that you have. I'm just going to delete this so I get more space in this computer. That was my download. Little break, please like and subscribe. And let's go for the next. Now I have downloaded the model, but I got an error message. For example here, if I press this button, it's going to restart the download. So you can get this kind of error happening to you. So if you can't use the LMStudio interface to download your models, or if you get any error because it's considering that it's likely too large for your model, for your computer, I'm going to show you a workaround for that. Because here you can see LMStudio community and the model is present. So I didn't try, but what you can do, this is the workaround. You just go into the Hugging Face repository of the model and you press this little arrow and you download it, and that's it. And after, you're gonna be placing it in the right folder where you want it to reside. So that's what I end out doing. I just have downloaded it and put it in the right place. And here, when I check the models, it doesn't recognize it. So what's going on? I'm going to show you what you need to do after that. Because it hasn't been downloaded from the interface of LMStudio. I have downloaded this only from a Hugging Face. So LMStudio doesn't read it. Here I'm just going to make an application very, very quick. Just I took the code snippet on the side as you've seen. Here you just need the model, put the model name. So here what I can do for the moment, I can load one of the models that I have. So we go into the server, we load, maybe I'll just load Mistral for that. This is just a first run to make sure it works. That's a previous model I used. It used to work with previous versions of LMStudio. But I wanted you to see this. You see now, there is more settings that you can play with. You can change the context length, which is amazing. You don't need to pass through the code to do that. You can do it straight away from this interface. After, you get a warning when you're asking for context length which is too large, because it's going to use more resources from your computer. And LMStudio is just detecting what is your computer able to do or not. GPU offload. I don't have any GPUs here, so depends on your computer. You can offload to the GPU, which is nice. It's gonna run seamlessly. You won't wait. Hope that those LPUs comes to our computers and that are sold as a normal computer presets, because those are amazingly fast and cheap. And this could be the solution for us to be able to run LLMs at home, even if those are very powerful and heavy. So here we are loading the model. And after, here in the code, you just need to come and change the model name here. Okay, I got it from the settings that I've shown you, the screen. You can just go back in the video and see where it's coming from. And here you just need to install OpenAI. Here I'm using UV, which is going to detect that I need to install OpenAI, create a virtual environment for this script, and being able to run it, which is very nice and convenient. So we are focusing more into presenting LMStudio. This is just showing you that you can code on the side and connect to LMStudio. That's why I'm doing that in a quick way without going through the code into the details. And after, here I'm just going to start prompting it. on asking it about the Stargate project. So you've heard about it, OpenAI, and I don't know, and who, and Donald Trump, I think. There is a huge project, $500 billion behind it, to build, I don't know, power plants for AI and so on. But still. So let's go back to the interface of LMStudio. We're slowly progressing. You can see there are some options, but we still can't see the DeepSeek model that you have downloaded. We go to the chat interface. Okay, we check here. The model is not present. So how would you do if you download the model from Hugging Face? You need to come here. You press in this button here. So My Model tab, and there is the refresh. You see now, we can see it on the top, the publisher, LMStudio community. So you press just refresh. Okay? That's all you need to do. And now we'll be able to load this model. Same here, before loading the model, you get the name that you can copy from here and put in your code. This is just the version using the server, but you can see here, I go through those issues so you can see how to fix those. Failed to load the model. Remember, it has detected before that this model can't run in my computer. So it has failed to load it. But there's a workaround. You just go into Discover, you go into the hardware, and here you're going to change the guard trails. You're going to get rid of the guard trails so that you can run the model that you want. But you just need to know that it's not recommended by LMStudio because it's going to use all the resources of your computer to run the model. So as much as the model needs to use, it's going to be using it. That's why if you have some other applications running, it's better to use what is suggested by LMStudio. And the interface really helps you to do that, because you get those little tags in green or in red. Here I just changed the name, and I'm going to do the same here, keep running my tests. But here I'm just going to using a tool that is going through Wikipedia. I'll just explain quickly, but I'm not going to stop into the code. We're going to go back into LMStudio just to see the interface that you would be using as a user. So here I'm just finished loading the model. You have to wait that the model loading is done before using it through your application to not get any error messages. Here it's nice because it's showing the IP of the server. So you can use localhost if it is localhost, but if you get the IP of the server, if it is a remote server, it's very good also. After, if you're really good, you can use DNS to get something running for you. Here's the error message that I got before. Model loading aborted due to insufficient system resources. And that's where I went and changed the guard trail to something unsafe, let's say, so that now it can load the model. So now the model has been loaded. And here I can start my application. And after, I'm just going to be prompting it. I just, in my test, I went through Wikipedia, checked for some information, and just asked, with a lot of typos as usual, for some informations that I would just verify against the answer that is provided by the model. But what is good here is that you can see also how this model structure his output from LMStudio. It's not the best way that I expected to do, because this model, it's a type of model of like the OpenAI O1 series models. So it's going to be thinking before answering. Here you can see the logs. The tokens are being written. I'm just going to try to open this window to detach the logs so you can see it. Here you can see the logs. I'm just going to copy it and show you the structure of the DeepSeek answer. You see here there is a tag saying sync, and after tool request, and after it's going to give you the answer. But you will get all of these different parts. So if you're using an API, you will need to clean this up to split on those sync or end tool requests. Or maybe you can play with the preset prompt so that you can have it done properly. So this is the interface that I want to show you. If you're a user, you don't know how to use LLM, you install LMStudio in an easy way. Here you have user and assistant. So assistant is good if you want to give information to the model, and you can use user after having loaded in your model. I'm just going to fast forwarding. Here I'm just saying that I want a Flask application to be done. User can draw, and there's an SQLite database storing those drawings and showing the 5 latest drawings stored in the database on the sidebar. Just give it a nice prompt, push the model to see what it really can do or can't do. This is a syncing model, so it's going to be syncing through, checking the steps, and after answering. This is not fast forwarded now. I just want you to see how long it takes to answer. Down on the right side, you can see RAM 70 gigabytes and CPU 31%. And now it's going to start answering, and it's going to give me a code snippet. I'm going to build a Flask app using just the code snippet, and it's not going to work. You need more iterations, but I'm not going to go through all the iterations. It's just to let you know that you can do that this way. Okay? And at the end, you get a nice tutorial in how to use it. So it's beginner friendly. It's really nice. Okay? There's a bit of hallucination, as it goes here, fixed header and footer, omitted in this example, but you can add them similarly. When I want you to show me, to give me everything. And after here, some extra to customize the colors and everything. It's nice. And it gave me a lot of code. So that's what I liked about it. Okay. So you've seen this new LMStudio, all the capabilities that you have. You've seen how the DeepSeek little model works. I'm not very satisfied about this model. There's a big hype around the API, the huge model, because it's cheap. Probably it's performant, but the smaller one, it's not. Maybe if you want to create a fantastic story, so something where the LLM can hallucinate, there's no issues for that. But if you want to code with it, it's not a really good pair programmer. So I don't like this 7B model of DeepSeek. That's my feedback around it. I still prefer the one that I really like is the Llama 3.370B, and the other one is the Gemini 2.0 Flash Exp. So those two are really serious models to work with locally in your computer. Hope that you like this video. I'm gonna stop here. Please like and subscribe, and see you next time.